It's Wednesday, September 24th. I just called my boss and told him I was going to be dead for the next few days, as the forecast calls for about 25 to 35 miles an hour northeast winds with gusts up to 45. We got gale warning. We got 6 to 9 foot waves. We got basically hide your wife and kids kind of weather. And I'm hoping that this passing storm does something for the fishing. Hopefully I can get some footage for you guys. Fish, video, and I'll see you guys on the other side. The winds were about 25 to 30 out of northeast. The waves about 4 to 6 feet, building up to about 9. We had white water all over the south side. Not as many fish as we would have hoped, but there were a few things that I wanted to point out to you to maybe help you out in the future when you're fishing in these kind of conditions. The first and probably the most important one is the ability to control your lure and cast it in a manner where you still have a fighting chance. This particular day, the wind is coming out from left to right. It's a pretty strong crosswind, and if you use your regular casting motion, you end up with a big loop in your line, and by the time you retrieve your line and catch up to your bucktail, by that time it's washed off in the rocks and it's useless. In order to deliver a bucktail right on top of that cresting wave, I decided to use a sideway cast so I can get under the wind. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, and maybe I can try to slow this down on you, but it's not clearly evident. But I'm making almost a parallel cast to the water right above the crest of the wave. I don't want a long cast. The long cast doesn't do me nothing other than gives me a giant bow in my line. You know, the furthest you try to cast, the higher you put that bucktail, the bigger your bow is going to be. So what you want to do is really try to make like a sideway cast parallel to the water and try to get your line on the roller before the bucktail hits the water. If you can accomplish this, you will be in a great shape to start working your lure as soon as it hits the water. If you don't, if you let your bucktail hit the water and then try to retrieve all your slack line and all the bow in your line, you're going to lose not only contact with the lure, but these waves will wash off a bucktail in a place where you didn't want it to cast. So one of the most important things in these kind of situations, and this also goes for fishing, plugs or bottle plugs or whatever you fish in rough water, is you need to put this line on the roller before it hits the water. Now, this is not only a daytime thing. This definitely I do at night. The difference is that in the daytime I usually use a visual key where I'm looking at my lure just about to hit the water and I'm putting the line on a roller and start to reel. Where at nighttime I will listen to the sound of the line coming off my spool and then be able to judge just when the lure is just about to hit the water, so I can pick up the line with my finger, put it on a roller and start reeling. So, you know, two very important things when you're dealing in this kind of situation. Obviously casting in the right place, not casting in front of the wave. And the second thing is, you know, to try to get your cast underneath the wind and get the line on the roller before it hits the water. And here's the last clip you can see me casting here sideways pretty clearly, and you'll see me miss few fish. I think right there, and there's missing one, a few more pops with a bucktail, and then another bump, and another miss fish, right there, and there he goes. And then I finally hook up, and the wave knocks me off the rock, and there I am floating on my butt in the water, just like everybody else, trying to fight the fish at the same time. And eventually I got the fish, got soaked, got my ass out of there, and that was the end of that. And I hope you enjoyed it. Just something that I wanted to share with you. Sometimes when we're dealing with these situations, little things make a big difference. And you know, if this helps one person, that's awesome.